If you're stuck in the woods and the temperature drops, a thin piece of plastic might be the only thing standing between you and hypothermia. I didn't want to trust my safety to random Amazon reviews, so I actually bought and tested the top 5 survival tents to see which ones rip immediately and which ones will actually keep you alive. Let's get into it. Product number 1: Cloud 10 Emergency Tent. When I first opened the Cloud 10 kit, I was surprised to see it's actually a 2-pack. This is huge because, let's be honest, these Mylar tents are usually one-and-done items. The material feels like your standard space blanket, thin and crinkly, but it reflects heat effectively. I set it up using the included paracord and it was straightforward. What I really dug were the survival bracelets included in the box. I usually hate gimmicks, but having a built-in compass and fire starter right on your wrist is actually practical in a pinch. It's a tight squeeze for 2 full-grown adults, but in an emergency, you won't care about personal space. If you want to buy one, keep one deal to stash in both your car and your bug-out bag. This is the smart, high-value pick. Product number 2: Survive Survival Tent. Moving on to the Survive tent, this one fixes the biggest issue I usually have with tube tents: the open ends. Usually the wind just tunnels right through, freezing you out. But when I set this up, I noticed it actually has extra material to close off the ends. I used a couple of rocks to pin the doors shut, and the difference in warmth was instant. It feels a bit heavier in the hand than the others at around 11 ounces, but that extra weight is totally worth it for the full enclosure. It also comes with a whistle that's ear-piercingly loud. If you live in a really windy area or expect snow, you need this specific design. Having those closed ends isn't just a cool feature, it's the difference between shivering all night and actually getting some sleep. Product number 3: Don't Die in the Woods Survival Tent. Then I grabbed the one with the most aggressive name, Don't Die in the Woods. Honestly, the hype is pretty real with this one. As soon as I touched the fabric, I could tell it was thicker than the standard space blanket stuff found in the other kits. They call it Heat Flex, and it doesn't feel like it's going to tear if you look at it wrong. I tugged on the seams pretty hard during my setup test, and the reinforced tape held up great. It claims to be reusable, and I actually believe it. I managed to fold it back up without destroying it, which is rare for Mylar. If durability is your main concern and you don't want something that shreds on the first sharp twig it touches, spend the extra couple of bucks for this one. Product number 4: REDCAMP Waterproof Camping Tarp. Now the REDCAMP is a total shift from the others. It's not a shiny Mylar tube, it's a 210D Oxford fabric tarp. When I pulled it out, it felt more like a traditional tent footprint. The downside is it won't reflect body heat like the shiny stuff, but the trade-off is crazy versatility. I set it up as a lean-to, but I also threw it on the ground as a moisture barrier. It's genuinely waterproof. I poured a bottle of water on it, and it beaded right off without soaking through. If you already have a sleeping bag and just need a roof over your head or a dry floor to sit on, this is way better than a flimsy emergency blanket. It's the right pick for someone building a more permanent bushcraft-style shelter rather than a quick emergency fix. Product number 5: Emergency 2-Person Orange and Gray. Finally, I looked at this generic orange and gray emergency shelter. It's the most basic option I tested today. The material is pretty standard thermal Mylar, thin, lightweight, and very bright. When I set it up between 2 trees, the orange stood out like a sore thumb against the woods, which is exactly what you want if you're trying to be found by a rescue team. It's definitely a use once and toss kind of item. I wouldn't rely on it for a week-long expedition, but for a day hike safety kit, it works fine. It blocks the wind and keeps the rain off. If you just need something cheap to throw in the bottom of a backpack just in case and hope you never have to actually use it, this fits the bill perfectly without overcomplicating things. So whether you want the durability of the DDITW or the closed-door warmth of the Survive tent, having any of these is better than nothing. I've dropped links to all 5 in the description so you can grab one for your kit. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next review.